Top 4 tourist destinations in China. China, a large tourist country, boasts numerous attractions from historical sites, cultural sites to scenic sites. Read the Great Wall and Forbidden City in Beijing, view the Terracotta Army in Xi'an, and see the Bund in metropolitan Shanghai, and enjoy stunning scenery in Guilin. Firstly, Beijing, ancient and modern capital, the capital and culture center of China. Beijing, China's capital city for over 700 years, is rich in history, both ancient and modern. There are many palace complexes in Beijing, as well as super modern buildings. Forbidden City, China's largest and most important building, also known as the Imperial Palace, is in the heart of Beijing and is a must-see when visiting the country. Started during the Yuan dynasty between 1271 to 1368, much of the complex seen today was built between 1406 and 1420 as a residence of 24 Ming and Qing emperors, whose presence forbade the entry of anyone other than the imperial families and their courtesans, covering some 720,000 square meters and protected by a 10-meter high wall with watchtowers and a wide moat. This massive complex consists of areas set aside for ceremonial and administrative purposes, as well as a private residence used by the emperor. Great Wall of China. Nobody can be a true hero unless he has been on the Great Wall, goes the popular saying, one that clearly demonstrates the importance that Chinese place upon this unique ancient monument. The magnificent Great Wall of China, known in Chinese as Changcheng or the Long Wall, stretches more than 6,000 kilometers from the fortresses of Shanghai in the east to Jiayuguan in the west, passing through Hebei, Tianjin, Beijing, where the best preserved section of the wall can be visited. In the Mongolian, Ningxia and Gansu along the way, averaging 6 to 8 meters in height, but rising as high as 16 meters in places, and wide enough for cavalry to pass. The wall boasts numerous battlements and watchtowers, some dating back as far as the 7th century BC, with the best-known areas added around 210 BC, when its various sections were joined. Today, the most visited section of the wall is near Baidalin Pass, northwest of Beijing, easily reached by public transport or Badaling or organized tours. Other restored sections was a visit include the section to Beiko, 130 kilometers from Beijing, and in Mutianyu, just 70 kilometers northeast of Beijing. The second, Xi'an, is a window on China's ancient civilization, home of the terracotta warriors. Xi'an was the first capital of United China in 221 BC, the Qing dynasty. Thus Xi'an is blessed with a great number of precious relics and historical sites. Xi'an is the most famous ancient capital in China, with the former name Chang'an. This city served as the capital of Tang Dynasty, the most prosperous dynasty in China's history. The prosperous Tang Dynasty had left numerous relics in Xi'an, the start of Silk Road, a symbol to trace back the prosperity, and the achievement in trade. Terracotta Army, one of the 8 wonders in modern world, is a door for people to get back to the Tang Dynasty. Distributed over 3 large underground pits and built to guard the first emperor's tomb were more than 8,000 life-size warriors, some 520 horses, and more than 100 chariots, along with numerous other non-military characters dating from around 280 BC, although some were severely damaged due to the passing of time. Many of these statues unearthed have been painstakingly reassembled and stand as testament to the importance bestowed upon the emperor and the afterlife. The site, part of the Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum site park, is one of China's most important tourist destinations and offers the unforgettable experience of standing in front of this assembly of soldiers and horses as if inspecting a centuries-old parade. Xi'an City Wall is a relic preserved since Tang Dynasty. In ancient times, each city of China built city wall to protect the city away from invasion. Xi'an was also the standing point of Silk Road, an ancient trade route that extended from Asia to Europe and played an important role in economic and cultural exchange between the East and the West in ancient times. The third, Shanghai, China's prosperous largest city. The largest city famed for its riverside cityscape. Shanghai, China's biggest city, as one of the world's leading economic and business cities. Shanghai's modernity is evidenced by the ambitious skyline. Shanghai is located halfway down China's mainland coastline, where the Yangtze River empties into the sea, an important comprehensive industry base and harbor. Unlike Beijing, there are not many famous tourist attractions in Shanghai. However, the beauty of visiting Shanghai lies not in the scurrying from side to side, but in the feel of the city's modern atmosphere. The Bund, which will be a must-see place. When walking along the Bund at night, the charm of Shanghai will immediately attract you. It is a fantastic metropolis mixes the ancient and the modern tastes together. The Bund, Waitan, has used this wide pedestrian zone along the Huangpujiang River. You will also forget you are bang smack the middle of China's largest city. Shanghai's population exceeds 25 million people, famous for its European feel, a fact owed to the district past as the location of the city's international settlement. The Bund is popular for its 52 preserved English and French influences buildings. Many now restaurants, cafes, stores, and galleries, representing a variety of influence from Gothic to Re- Rena- Renaissance styles, including a number of Art Deco buildings. The architecture includes highlights such as the old Harbour Customs Office with its bell tower and the majestic Peace Hotel. For the best view of the Bund, visit the 468-meter or, Oriental Pearl Tower on the opposite bank of the Huangpujiang River. To the west of Shanghai is Suzhou, a city famous for the gardens. Guilin, China's top karst landscape, scenic city with sensational mountain and river scenery. Guilin, with its marvelous limestone scenery, is renowned as one of the most beautiful places on earth. If you plan to save the most beautiful natural scenery in China, you should pay a visit to Guilin, with the unique karst geography. Guilin just looks like a young lady that quietly sitting in China. During his visit, former U.S. President Nixon was inspired by Guilin's picturesque natural scenery and remarked, "I have visited more than 80 countries and over 100 cities. I have found that no city can surpass the beauty of Guilin Li River." World's famous river from Guilin to Yangshuo includes the most charming sights of Guilin. The best way to enjoy the area is to take a boat trip along the Li River. The most popular stretch is from Guilin to Yangshuo, where the river meanders peacefully through some 80 kilometers of beautiful bamboo forests, dense reed beds, and remarkable rock formations and caves with romantic names such as the Mount of Unique Beauty, Elephant Trunk Hill, and Reed Fruit Cave. Depending upon the type of boat used, you can choose from small punts to large multi-passenger riverboats. Trips can take anywhere from a few hours to multiple days. Yangshuo West Street would be a good choice to spend your nightlife in Guilin. Thank you very much.